Good morning, sweet friend. Today's recipe is this amazing cookie. If you're interested in the recipe, the ingredients are in the description, and keep watching for the full tutorial.
To start, we're going to make the filling for the cookie. What we're going to start with is a package of cream cheese. And I don't know what you think, but I love homemade cookies. But I don't like to make them all the time. And this will save me from having to make cookies for a while. At least I'm hoping. We don't have a whole lot of room in my freezer, as you saw, so we're going to make as many as we can. It's got the cream cheese in there. Next, we're going to put a little bit of homemade powdered sugar. It is super easy to make. I use about 1/4 teaspoon of arrowroot powder and regular sugar, blended in a coffee bean machine. And you have homemade powdered sugar. There's no reason to go buy it. Besides, you don't even know what they put into it. So I'm going to put a couple of these heaping teaspoons of cocoa powder in there. And we're going to turn it on. I don't want the cocoa powder to go everywhere, so let that go until it's all well incorporated. Okay, looks like it is blended. Did scoop it a couple of times. Scrape it down because I don't have a whole lot in there. So let's take the paddle off. We're going to need this paddle again, so we're going to clean it off. Because when we can have a machine do a lot of the work, it makes meal prepping and prepping stuff so much easier. Could you imagine mixing this by hand? Right. Put this in my sink. I am going to wash it. I'm going to use it again. Let me show you how good it looks in there. Now this, we are going to scoop into little balls, and we're going to chill them so that they're nice and firm. So let me get this into another container, and we will move on to making the cookie dough. The mixing bowl is now clean, so we are going to now take a 1/2 cup of butter, which is 1 entire stick. You want it warm, room temperature, and we're going to cream it with the brown sugar. And that's 3/4 cup of light brown sugar. I make mine homemade, black strap molasses. This was 2 cups of regular sugar and 2 teaspoons of black strap molasses. One spoon, and we want 3/4 cup, and this is a 1 cup measurement. But on the inside, I have measurements. I'm going to go to 3/4 cup, and it says packed, so I might as well fill this all the way up to 1 cup, since I'm not going to pack it down. And the filling is actually chilling in the fridge, so that once it's chilled and nice and firm, we can make them into little balls. All right, so 3/4 cup of brown sugar packed. And we're going to cream this. Love brown sugar when it's made with blackstrap molasses. So good. I'm going to save my cup because I need it for other measurements. We are close to being creamed. We're going to add 1 egg, farm fresh egg here. Add in the egg. If you've never made homemade cookies, you gotta try. Now we'll add 3 tablespoons of milk. Milk back in the fridge. 1 tablespoon of vanilla. This says maple syrup, but this is as your standard vanilla. I love it. 1 tablespoon going in. Let that blend for a little bit. It looks kind of chunky, but it's all going to come out right. So when you're doing this and you go, wow, it's chunky, it's going to look chunky. Let me see if I can show you. See how it's kind of chunky? That's just fine. Next, we are going to add 3/4 of a cup of creamy peanut butter. This is brand new. I'm going to open it. We just did a Sam's Club haul, and this is one of the items that I picked up because I wanted to make peanut butter cookies. Now it is your choice to measure. I'm not gonna. Just gonna use a measuring spoon. So that was 3/4 of a cup, and you actually can warm this up so it's easy to pour. That blade is getting in my way. And when it comes to peanut butter and chocolate, you always got to measure with your heart. You really do. Oh my goodness. Also, you can make this with monk fruit if you need to not be having so much sugar in your life. You can actually make powdered monk fruit, like powdered sugar. All right, last scoop. I am done with this little spoon. We'll blend that in for a little bit. going to add a couple pinches of salt. Because again, peanut butter and chocolate, they need salt. We're going to need 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. I have a 1/4, so I'm going to do 3 times. And last but not least, we're putting in 1 3/4 cup flour. And you could use gluten-free flour also. So this is a 1/2 cup. Because this is going to get everywhere. So there's the 1. And I need 3/4 of a cup. So there's 1 1/2 and 3/4. Be very careful when you start this up. It's going to get everywhere. Now once it's all mixed, I am going to taste to see if it needs any more sugar. They say not to eat raw flour, but I've been doing it since I was a little kid, so I really don't, I'm not hurt, I'm not bothered by it. It's because of this spoon. Let's see if it needs any more sugar. That's what I'm going to taste. Nope. So now I'm going to mix this up until it's really well mixed. Right, looks like it's ready. Not much is stuck to the paddle, which is a good thing. Alright, so let's move down to the other end of the counter and we'll get these made up. Alright, let's get some parchment paper out and make up these cookies. I've not done this before, so we're learning together. I'm going to take I think this is a 2, I don't know, just a little scoop. Fill it full. Now these cookies are just for me, so I don't need to wear gloves because I don't need to protect myself from me. Okay, I'm going to make a little well, and I think I want to grab a little spoon. This stuff is really sticky. And put a little scoop in there. And close it up if I can. there's my first little cookie. Need to find a way to not touch that. Okay, one little scoop. Roll it into a ball. Spread it out. Maybe if I use the back of the spoon. Close it up. Back of the spoon works a whole lot better. Number 2. Have you guys ever experimented with making cookies? Like new, different kinds of cookies. This is mine. You are learning with me. Will it work? Will it come out? Well, if you see this, it came out. If it didn't, it never will see the light of day. I sure hope they do, because man, I love Reese's peanut butter cups, and if these are half as good as Reese's peanut butter cups, I will never have to buy Reese's peanut butter cups ever again. Alright, we ended up with 33 cookies. They need to go in the freezer and chill for about 30 minutes, and then we'll bake up a couple of them and see how well they came out. I cannot wait. I've tasted both components and they are both amazing. I did add all of the powdered sugar that I had made in my coffee grinder, which was 3/4 of a cup of powdered sugar in with the block of cream cheese and the 2 heaping teaspoons of cocoa powder. All right, let's bake up a few of these peanut butter cookies and put some oil on my cookie sheet. Grab a paper towel. They shouldn't really stick because they got butter, but you just never know. And we're going to bake up 4 cookies, because I don't know how far these things are going to spread. And we're going to put them into a 350-degree oven. Alright, out of the oven, nice and cooled. Let's give it a split. Oh wow, that looks so good. Let me get you in real close. Look at that. I'm trying to get it to focus. Here we go. Looks so good. Let's give it a taste. It is just like a reverse Reese's peanut butter cup. And get it to focus. It is so good. You guys gotta try this. So guys, until next time, bye.